Welcome, I'm Joanne Caffrey, this is Police Custody Basics, and the question is, did you know that the custody sergeant should not be hands-on with a detainee? The custody sergeant should supervise and manage any use of force within the custody unit. Now, I'm using the terms should because there'll always be exceptions to that when the custody sergeant can't find other staff. But let's consider the issues around this, because if the custody sergeant is involved in the use of force with a detainee, particularly if it's pre-planned, and the custody sergeant becomes a victim and says that they've been assaulted and they're now looking at assault on an emergency worker, that custody sergeant can no longer be the custody sergeant for that detainee, because the custody sergeant needs to be impartial to the investigation. So then how easy is it to find another custody sergeant to take over the detainee? So it's going to be much easier to find a member of staff. But particularly as well, think about these scenarios with such as relocation tactics. So a person is being brought in the back of a police vehicle, back of a police van, and the escorting staff have given prior notice that they're coming in with a person who is being violent, and so officers are requested to meet the van in the dock. Now once the van reaches that van dock, then the custody pace clock has begun, because the detainee is now within the confines of the secure custody unit. So the pace clock begins. This is a pace detainee, and therefore the custody sergeant has some responsibilities for this detainee in the back of that van, and therefore the custody sergeant needs to be on top of this and supervising and managing this relocation tactic to work out how are the staff going to get the detainee from the van through the custody unit, whether they're going to be dealt with at the desk or not, or whether they're going straight to the cell. So there's a few issues there. So there's a tactical plan required, and the constables who are bringing a detainee, it should be common practice that they know not to suddenly open van doors and bring detainees out of the van before there's a tactical plan agreed and arranged with the custody sergeant. So core principle here, in an ideal world, the van arrives, the shutters are down. Before that person is removed from the back, the tactical plan is agreed with the custody sergeant, and that might be that the HCP is taken with the custody sergeant to the van dock to make an assessment of the detainee through the perspex and decide whether that person needs to go to hospital or whether they're coming into the unit. Then if they are coming into the unit, the methodology, which staff are involved, how it's going to happen, who's going to be the safety officer, who's going to get the cell ready, who's doing what roles, so that all staff involved know the roles, they know the route that they're going with the person, they know what's going to happen, and then a safe relocation technique can occur. The HCP is involved to ensure that medical checks are agreed and conducted before the person is then left in the cell. And also remember, don't just shut the door and everyone walk off. Deaths in custody demonstrate time and time again that staff forget to be left at the door with level 4 observations until the person shows that they are able to perform the 4 R's, so that they are rousable, that they can respond verbally, that they can respond physically, and that staff have remembered specified conditions. You don't want to ever be leaving a person on the floor in the cell, face down, motionless, or appearing to be asleep, because the person who's appearing to sleep, as history has shown us time and time again, is actually in a serious medical condition and is actually dying. So the custody sergeant, you need to be managing all of this, the tactical movement, the supervision of everything, and then the write-up of the custody record. What you don't want to be doing is getting involved hands-on then becoming an involved officer, then being unable to be the custody sergeant, then you're having to try and find another custody sergeant to take over. The roles then don't get performed as they should, which then an accumulation of errors increases the chance of a death in custody. My name's Joanne Caffrey and this is Custody Basics. Thank you.